Hello and welcome to Ho Ho Horrible Horrors Recommendation Round, where I recommend rows of frightening films specific to terrifying themes. Aren't you amazed by my astonishing alliteration? Well, this is a part of the show where I just, I recommend a bunch of films specific to a sort of theme. It could be killer cars, evil clowns, zombies, whatever. And today's theme, in case the Santa hat didn't tip you off, is Christmas. That jolly time of year where everyone is jolly and happy and give each other presents and you watch the same fucking movies over and over again. You've already watched Home Alone, you've already watched The Santa Claus, all that bullshit. Maybe Die Hard if the networks feel like throwing you a bone or something. And you have definitely watched like 5 versions of A Christmas Carol, all of which are the goddamn same. Okay, except maybe one. Okay, 2. But anyway, you're wondering, isn't there a way I can counteract all this jolliness, all this fun, loving stuff? Can't I get some frickin' blood and guts? And you've probably already watched Gremlins 5 times too, so isn't there more? Isn't there more horror to watch in Christmas? Actually, there is. If I could count TV show episodes and at one independent short, I could name 24 right now. So there are a lot of Christmas movies. People really seem to love the theme of horror and Christmas blending together. The real challenge is finding those that are any good. So that's why I've gathered a few that I would recommend you watch this December. Now, why don't we just start off with Jack Frost. And as you can see, this is not the Michael Keaton one. This is the awesome one where he rapes people in bathtubs. I'm not even kidding. Jack Frost is about as simple as it gets. A serial killer, aptly named Jack Frost, is sent to be executed. That's too bad for him. But while he is driving, the transport crashes with another transport that is transporting chemical waste. And somehow that mixes his molecules with the snow and he becomes a serial killing snowman. Yes, a serial killing snowman. And what better to do when you randomly get superpowers than to track down the sheriff that arrested you and kill his family? Jack Frost is, well, look at it. Are you expecting a good movie in that sense? No, good. Because when you look at it, it's a horrible movie. It's actually really, really bad. But it knows it's bad. It's bad on purpose, really. This is a funny as shit movie. It's quite a cult classic, but why the hell not? I mean, not only do we have a wisecracking snowman killing people, that should be more than enough. They really get creative with this. I mean, he has icicle fangs, he wraps people up in Christmas lights, and people fight him with blow dryers. It's all that, and it's just hilarious. And besides, name me one other movie where you can watch someone rape Shannon Elizabeth in the shower with a carrot. Nowhere but Jack Frost, my friend. If you like Jack Frost, you might also be up for watching a far newer movie, namely Santa's Slay. Slay as in S-L-A-Y, since it is a horror movie. This is also a very, very comedic Christmas horror film. Don't expect to be scared by this or Jack Frost. This time it's just Santa Claus killing people. And for a movie that has practically every character being played by a Jew, it's sure as shit has that holiday cheer in it. It's just a riot to watch. You see, in this movie, Santa is the son of Satan. I'm not even making that up. In this movie, Santa Claus is the son of Satan. But when he lost a game of curling to an angel, that's curling. He played curling with an angel. He was cursed to be nice to children for 1,000 years. Well, guess what? Time's up, and he is pissed. There's not much to say about Santa's Slay when you've just talked about Jack Frost. Other than not looking quite as cheap, but still very cheap, it's practically the same movie. He's just killing shit left and right. And it's pretty funny. Again, don't expect anything serious. It's just hilarity watching Santa throw a Christmas star at someone and impaling their foreheads or gagging them on a wishbone and just random stuff like that. It's hilarious. Moving from one killer Santa to another, you should probably take a look at Silent Night, Deadly Night. This is actually a really interesting movie. It's quite infamous, because when this was originally released, parents were fucked up insanely pissed off at this one. And all because of the killer Santa Claus. This is 1984, by the way, people. Because apparently, a lot of parents were concerned that their kids would be frightened of this movie, because their kids should be watching R-rated slasher movies in the first place, right? And they actually went so much nuts with their protests that this was taken off the theaters like 2 weeks after it came out, and then lived a life of infamy until it reached DVD, which I'm happy to own. But yeah, people were going nuts, and I think I read somewhere that it's all about the poster, which is really just this giant Santa arm sticking out of a chimney with a big-ass axe in it. And it's really a great picture. So, but what's really funny is, while the slasher Santa was what pissed people off, it had actually been done twice before. In, I think it's To All a Good Night and Christmas Evil, or Terror in Toyland, whatever you want to call that movie. So apparently this was all because this had been a marketing. But is it worth anything, despite all these, all this commotion there was about it, all this talk? Well, yes, it's a pretty good slasher flick, actually. It's one of few that focuses entirely on the killer. Because normally you'd focus on this little group of friends going wherever the fuck they want to go, and then the killer shows up and maybe we get an elaborate backstory for him and why he kills them and stuff like that. No, the main character of this movie is actually the killer. And we follow him from the age of, I think, like 5 until he's an adult. Adult meaning age 18 to 20 or something. At least in the movie's canon, he doesn't look that age at all. And this kid really has it rough. The entire first half is basically about how much his life sucks. And I do mean sucks. I'm not gonna tell you exactly why he has it so rough, yes. Just that when he finally snaps and goes on a rampage in that Santa suit, there's a reason. There's a very good reason. But this part, when he finally does go crazy and starts killing things, it's actually a little weak. It's very entertaining, that's not the problem, and every kill is really creative, if not a little silly. But the thing is that his kills are entirely random. He just kind of walks around and kills people we have seen for 5 seconds in some elaborate way. All while shouting, "Punish!" in the cheesiest way I've ever imagined. But this is really a, I wouldn't say great, but very, very fun holiday horror film to watch. It's one of my favorites. It's a Christmas tradition for me to watch this thing. Now, it actually got so popular, despite all the racket about it, that it actually has 4 sequels. Only the first 2 of which actually have shit to do with the original, not so surprising. Now, I can't speak for parts 3 to 5, but part 2 is probably the worst sequel in the frickin' world. It's more like Silent Night, Deadly Night, part 1.5, really. I mean, the entire first half of it is just an abridged recap of the first one. And then we move on to the second half, which is the most hilariously incoherent thing I've ever seen. I mean, nothing in it makes sense. You might recognize this clip. Yeah, that's from... Garbage Day! Huh? No! Yeah, that's from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. And that's not even one of the dumbest parts. But it's a riot to watch. I mean, if you're into bad movies and you just want to laugh at the incompetence, sure, go ahead, give it a watch. I think you can actually get that on DVD too. And if I'm not mistaken, the rest of the sequels have been released in a box set. So I might want to get my grubby little hands on that.